You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go!
Yo, 15 minutes of fame. Don, I mean, I was about to say
No
Don.
introduction. No
I was gonna say
introduction.
Don Leonard. Don Leonard, what up? What up? Hollow.
You know, Stan Lucci, man, the energy god is in the building.
Don't forget the memory.
Yeah, with the memory card. You know, it's TMB. It's too many bars.
Energy guard with the memory card.
Period.
Yo, all right, man. Right to the potatoes, man, because I know you got some shit to do, man. Let's talk about the blog that you put out. Everybody's talking about it right now.
Oh, that's the potatoes, not the contracts.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the contracts, right? The contracts is the potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, just to be specific, you were more or less talking about the contracts because a lot of talk is about money. You know how much people are getting paid and if they're getting paid enough and stuff like that. What specifically were you talking about?
Well, first and foremost, I got to take full accountability or at least partial accountability for putting that information out there. Like I said, when you gather a bunch of information, like it makes it more confusing than just consolidating it and breaking it down. Like, yo, this happened, this. Like that 17-minute blog could have been like 3-4 minutes. You know what I mean? But you get to using analogies and giving your opinion on stuff. People could just take that one thing, focus on that, and lose the focal point, which was, you know, the contracts. I say non-negotiable because there's no room to negotiate. I believe you get to negotiate, but when there's no room to negotiate when your footage comes out, if it's coming out on YouTube, because now it's going on another data app where I can't even prove these analytics if a company wants to work with me. And I don't even know how much numbers they're doing. I'm getting 500,000 on YouTube. I'm getting 2 million. You know, people are hitting me, and you know that makes me more loopy with my network than outside business outside of that. You know what I mean? So that was my whole argument of just no negotiate. Like I just can't get no type of budge there with none of these things, percentages, all of just contracts.
So what are the percentage that you're looking for? What percentage are you looking for?
It's just a negotiate. I just want to stick to the point and don't want to lose. It's just a fairness in negotiation with the contracts. It's not about just the residuals alone. It's not about none of the things alone. It's about being able to be like, yo, can I find out if I could get a percentage and negotiate a percentage? Oh, can I know when this is coming out on YouTube? Oh, it's not coming out on YouTube, you know, instead of being like told other stuff. So just fairness and negotiation is not an option. It's just only with money. Only you could try to negotiate more money, and that's it. Like I said, I also want to enlighten that they have help with music and clothing lines. They post a link, and you know they definitely support, bro. Like bro, King of the Dot always supported music and helps us to eat outside of other ways. This ain't me like trying to tear cats down like they did nothing. Never helped. A lot of cats in situations that you know are battling for them, you know, on the league. So it's also give and take at the same time.
So you're saying you want to be able to implement more of your product and the things that you have, and kind of set up the timeline so you can promote it when your battle is dropping. Pretty much.
Room to negotiate in contracts. Fairness in negotiation is all I want for me and my peers. Like if Hollow is able to get 50,000, why does dude have to fight so hard for 1,500 more, 500 more because he's a lower tier or he's not a big star? Like it should be some fairness or like I said, I gave options for solutions like a union, but that's up to the leagues and the other battle rappers. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't really make shit happen one deep.
Have you tried to negotiate? And if so, if you did, what happened when you tried to negotiate?
The first was in Tampa when I negotiated for a percentage of pay-per-view. My backup plan was to ask for YouTube if they said no. They said no to both, and when I pushed for like another meeting about it, it was just, you know, the sprint cycle. Again, when me and Lux did the 2-on-2, I asked, you know, when is this coming out? I was told September. I spent close to probably $2,000 getting productivity for the track shoots, and they didn't come out to New Year's. So I just took a loss on that. Not only did I not profit, I also spent money expecting something was going to happen, and it didn't, just because, you know, I felt like it wasn't respected. Like my side, it's like, you know, with us artists, you know, this is speaking out about contracts and negotiation, period. This ain't just about battle rap with me. Like, with all artists, like, a contract shouldn't just be given. A contract is for both parties to be safe. So you should always have something you want to add in the contract, or something like, okay, I need this to happen, or I need this next battle in the contract locked in. And then, you know, this is also other field game that hasn't happened to me, but I've heard over the years people complain so much, and I have to speak up, is, you know, stuff being in the contract and just being flat lied to, which has happened to me, but not in the contract, because they know I would follow up on it, like I wouldn't let it slide, you know, because I'm real firm about it. But cats would be like, you know, you got so-and-so bad if you do this, and they'll do that, and then, man, I just got to be transparent about it. If you pop up on somebody with another offer, they're going to forget about what you didn't do. So if you pop up on somebody like, yo, all right, we didn't do that, but look, I got this for you. It's another good look. We worked it with you, just chill. Like, we got you. We go through. Like, you know, people are just like, they fall for that easy. They're like, okay, I'm going to do this then. You know what I mean? So it's always like some tactics and stuff. You know, when I first went in the office of one of the staff members, me and Clips had this joke. It might be me and Big T, but nigga had a book on the desk like some George Bush shit, like how to manipulate the mind, how to control others on Bursky desk. So it's like, this ain't normal. This is psychological warfare, and people on the surface level, you know, is not going to be able to really grasp. You know what I mean? They just like, getting your money, you doing your thing, is a bit. But nah, it's more deeper than that. We use words like family, you know, you my young pup. We got you, you know what I mean? People really get invested in that. You know, they expect that. You know, so it's also, go ahead, I don't want to keep rambling like that.
So, not to play devil's advocate, but I have to play devil's advocate, right?
I need you to.
We got to try to
play devil's advocate as hard as possible.
Yeah, we got to try to play both ends, right? Okay, I own this. I own this is my business, and I don't want to negotiate with you. This is what I'm offering you for this, to do this. That's it. I don't want to negotiate with you. Is that a problem if the other party does not want to negotiate?
Not at all. That's commendable. That's G'd up. That's keeping it respectable.
Mm-hmm.
What I just said, when you use words like, oh, we got you, or you manipulate and say, all right, we'll do this, or look, just look out, we're going to take care, and, you know, stuff like that, that's not what you just said. You just said, like, yo, check this out. This is how we run our business. You don't like it, bro? You could do something else. Okay. I'm going to respect that more. Niggas might still complain, talk shit, but how you going to have an argument over a man saying what he meant and stood on it? Like, this ain't what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, exactly with the scenarios I gave before.
So, all right. So let me stop acting like a dummy, because a lot of that shit wasn't sinking in until I asked that question. So you're pretty much being told, we're going to work something out, but it's never getting worked out. All the time, every time you're negotiating something, there.
Only 2 years ago in Tampa.
Say it again.
2 years ago was Tampa event on Band Legacy when Chess Battle Geechee first brought it up. Before that, it was 5-7 years ago. I was trying to get YouTube views, but that was never like a real meeting. Like, I really had a meeting with them about this, no follow-up meeting had. And then the next call was, I didn't hear from months until, we talked around the math battle, and that's when they booked the move battle. So I didn't hear from them until the math battle.
Yeah, because it sounds more like you saying, it's like you're being promised things and then they're not coming through with the promises.
And look, not everything. I want to be as fair as possible. Beasley offered to come to my video shoot. He actually came to my video shoot. My phone died. Like, these dudes definitely do solid stuff, but you can't mix in and sprinkle in, like, you know, some just non-negotiable contracts that's like unfair and Like same shit, Walmart do, they workers and shit. Like, oh, well, you take it or leave it. It's how it is. But like I said, we've done shit too, like on our side of bad money management, putting our numbers out there, like out there with the contract, like that's bad business on our part that we got to take down. We in the way for that shit, like, and we must do better ourselves to level up when we do get this money to do other stuff outside of it. So.
Now you put something out and then you took it back, you took it offline, but it was too late. You know that, right?
Yeah, it was like 15 minutes late. It was bogus as hell. It was bogus because you know, it wasn't a controlled emotion. I'm definitely trying to stay on my energy guy shit, and it was something that was done to make me react and do that, and I knew it wasn't organic. Why I had put that out there was, you know, it was more of a reaction. So, you know, it was bogus. I had to eat that. Like, you know, we all make moves, but me taking accountability, I really got to eat it because people are like, he said he shouldn't have did it. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna eat that as a man. Like, you know, that wasn't the move. That wasn't loopy. Wasn't mixy. I wasn't coming in hot. Like, that was faulty.
All right, so yeah, that was just you was working off of anger or emotions, I
Yeah,
guess. Okay,
both.
both anger and emotions. So how are you feeling now? Like, what do we do to move forward? What exactly are you looking for? Like for any leagues that actually watch this interview now, what exactly are you looking
Um,
for moving forward?
yeah, for the leagues, I threw the solution out there as far as like, you know, cats that you call like, you know, maybe lower tier cats and not big ticket sellers. It should be a meeting of like, you know, $2,000 minimum just to come and represent our platform. And then you can have, you know, PG or lower level battle where, you know, they might do it for free or do it because it's a platform and it is a big look for them. But you know, when it's like cats like I don't want to name names no more. I don't want to throw nobody in the mix. But
Yeah, that
when
was
you got
another
cats,
thing
you know,
too.
that's really dope, and you can tell.
Yeah, I think you named
Yeah, yeah,
names, and then I don't think a lot of people's like, well, damn, why is he saying motherfuckers' names?
that was shot the fuck out. Like I ain't like I'm a man about all that. Like that was shot the fuck out. Like I said, I could consolidate shit and make it
Right.
much easier. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I'm working on now to reflect and be like, okay, you know, I don't need to use analogies, especially throw people's names out there. You know what I mean? Even though I did it in a respectable way, like you know, what I'm saying like you know they need this, but you know nobody want to be caught up in no conflict or no disagreements. So yeah, that was shot the fuck out. I was a knock ass ball for that day. Nah, I make other people take accountability, so I'm gonna have to hold myself to the fire. Like them two things was like unnecessary. The focal point was to no room for negotiations in the contracts, the non-negotiable contracts.
So you go back to the $2,000. Run that by me again, where you said you know
Oh, yeah,
lower
so it
tier.
just should be a tier of like it should be a tier, and it should also be a pot in a union where you tax the battle reps, and you know, God forbid, a battle rep's name I don't want to say is in the hospital. You know, you can use that and like you know put some money towards that or take care of that. Or you know, let's say you know somebody got locked up. You know, it's a pot there, like you know, a union that you can look out for. You know, the battle reps that's legends, but might not get the big bucks or might not get you know, 10, 15,000 where they could go, you know, pay for stuff. So that should be one, and just brackets of a minimum pay for each bracket.
Well, you know, I talked to Verb, and Verb was like, shit, if motherfucker want to form a union or they want to do this or do that, he said if everybody gets on board with it, he's down with it. You know, he
Yeah,
said,
I've
but the
talked to Bert
problem is that you're not gonna get everybody to be on board with it.
for sure because we're also competing, we're also competitors. So it's like some people don't even really want to talk on the phone, let alone be in a union. That's why I'm more pushing for the league to do it. I think it's the league's responsibility as the entity that's running the company and wants respectable people to represent their brand. And, you know, you see when a dude see this battle rap I don't want to name. Nah, let me stop doing that. I was definitely gonna say Reaper Rails. Shout out Reaper Rails. But like if a dude see Reaper Rails, you know, you want to be like, oh, this nigga Reaper Rails got, you know, the nice little spot, he's doing his thing, he ain't hurting too bad. You know what I mean? Because the art is so rare and it's so fire, and we won't know until it's not around. We're all like 60, and we go back and look at it, and it's a whole different thing going on at that point. You know, that's when you go back and look, oh, I should have been this, or I should have looked out for this. So I'm aiming to just look towards the future and shout out all the leagues that's, you know, got a respectable platform, because they all do. They all build their own shit up. So there's nobody wanting to take nothing from nobody. Like, they work hard to get where they at. It's just some negotiation of contracts.
So do you're saying the league should come up with this whole setup for the
I mean, I
union?
said seven solutions. We got to manage money better. Both parties got to take accountability. We got to manage money better. We got to do investments outside of battle rap, and leagues should do a union, and they should have a certain pay. So yeah, I think everybody should level up.
Well,
Battle rappers got to stop choking. Like, you can't have this level. Like, it should be docs if you choke, or if you show up. Like, you should doc they pay. You should, you know what I mean? So I'm about fairness all across the board.
but you do have to take into consideration that battle rappers are pretty much like contractors, right? So the company is not responsible for the actual battle rapper. You know, in outside of battle rap, that's how it is. You're a subcontractor. You know, here, I pay you amount of money for your services, and it's after that is God bless you, have a good day until the next time we need you or see you. So why would it be the leagues? And I'm not sticking up for the league. I'm just asking the question.
No, I need you to talk your talk. I need this. You know, we got an open dialogue about this.
Yeah.
So
Why would it be the league's job to put together the union or do anything other than what they've been doing is paying for contractual service?
Got you. I can't answer that. I feel like the reason it's their service is because you have a brand you want to represent and have your people that work there represent. Obviously, like freelance battlers, like you say, contractors. You're 100% right. Like, you know, these dudes do their own thing. Nobody owes. But, you know, when you got Tay Rocks at URL, Pat Stays at King of the Dots, then, you know, you can keep going to your search of URLs, your Hitmans. Like, these dudes is primarily on these leagues with big numbers. Like, they all should have room for certain negotiation if they want. Like, if Hitman want, like, you know, whatever 5 people to fly out with him, like, it should be some room to, like, figure that out. And, you know what I mean? So it's just about the fairness. But nah, nobody owes nobody nothing to take care of them. You know what I mean? Of course not.
No, I mean, as far as them, it like, should their concern be anything other than
you want to represent, like, it's like what thing. It's like MTV got him fired because he represents their brand.
Say it again, because you were choppy. Say that again.
I said I don't know if this is another bad analogy, but the best way I could compare it is like with Nick Cannon. You know, when he said that comment, MTV and Viacom fired him because he represents their brand. So people that have a respectable brand and feel like this brand represents some class are always going to look out for the people that are top of their brand and make sure they're not in no trouble. Like, yo, call JC. Like, make sure he good. I heard he was going through it. Like, he's one of them top guys. Like,
right.
There should be certain shit like that of etiquette. Like, you know, this is my own thing is business etiquette. Like, having some sort of ethics. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we should do business how these major corporations do business in like a doggy dog. But I'm gonna do that in another blog. That's way deeper.
Okay. Yeah, because again, I agree. I mean, it would be nice if, there was a union in some kind of pot where as though if somebody needed it, that was available, because I know nobody has insurance or none of this stuff, but then it becomes like a job, right? Then it'd have to be a job in order for you to actually have a union or have insurance and shit like that.
You got a tax. It'll come out of the money of, like, the battlers partially too. It's not just like the I'm about to say labels, that's how it's becoming, but they like the leagues that have to put that up. Like, the battle rappers should be taxed some of their money. Like, they're just to help your business, right? This is for the union, period.
So I got a league It's a very big league. It's 15 Minutes of Fame Battle Rap
Mm-hmm.
League, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I don't want to do this no more. Hollow the Don, here, man. You can have that. I don't want no money for it. You could take over. I got so many battlers that that battle for me, and they'll probably still battle for you too. Here's the
Mm-hmm.
company. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and that's a great question because I have to admit that I've never ran a battle league to sit here and say I can tell you what I'm gonna do and I can tell you how to run it successfully. I
Right.
just know as a human and as a person that can gauge fairness and have talked to people over years and been like suppressing it, not trying to like, because this hurts. Like I don't want to like this URL. Like people grew up on URL. This is not something like this. Like Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon fighting, and you finding out they ain't cool because he wanted more. It's like so this do hurt, and I could imagine how much it hurts like a fan watching it. But just standing up for what's right. I feel like if everybody did that in their own field or their own, because you're somebody in your own way, whether you work at a plant or you're at a hospital, like you're important. You come in, Julie, like they know you, like you're important. And so if you stood up and represented something, like it would make waves in that field. So that's what I'm feeling like. I'm doing something also bigger than battle rap. Like I'm inspiring people to also stand up and like that's what we ask for racism. We ask like don't be because it's hard to do. Like like how you said all the backlash. It's hard to be in a room full of 10 white people and then they're all 9 of them saying some racist stuff, and one person be like, "Yo, that's not right though. I know black people and they're not like that, or I know Asian people and Asian people." That's hard to do. So it's like most people just go with the crowd, and that's understandable because the backlash does come. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah, and
Like, did
again,
I
man,
lose
I
the
hate.
question?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I answered it at first. Like, I can't act like I could be fully responsible running a league. I'm not going Hummerston. There's so much stuff, King of the Dot, URL, RBE, go through. I'm not aware of, or they might have told me, but I haven't experienced it to know, the level of it. So this is not me saying they don't deserve what they got. This is me saying we deserve what we asked for.
right.
You know what I mean?
Because like I say, playing devil's advocate, I'm on y'all's side. I talk to a lot of y'all and I hear gripes and things like that. And then I talk to the leagues, on their side too, and it always comes down to like, like the way I look at it, because I don't know what URL, what they have to put in to keep their league alive or to set these battles up. I don't know what King of the Dot or RBE, what they do behind the scenes business wise. I don't know their business, but I know it's not easy already to do what they
Exactly.
do. And then all the extra stuff to be added in would be like, wow, it's a lot. So, but I do know
For
on
sure.
both
For
ends,
sure.
you guys need to be taken care of. I guess there's got to be some kind of standard, like what is it? You know what I mean? Like there is no standard for battle rappers, right? But there's a minimum wage, you know, in the government, right? There's a minimum wage. So that's a standard. But there is no standard in battle rap. It's like the league think you're worth this amount of money, they
But
pay you that amount of
I'm
money, you
confident enough.
go ahead.
My bad, because we're a little delayed. So, but I'm confident enough to say that what I've done already and what others have done, like I'm not the first person that brought this up or had these issues. What others have done is already making waves behind the scenes. Sometimes the results aren't televised and you don't hear about them, but I'm pretty sure leagues are going to be a little different, or maybe try to offer more to avoid a twerk from turning into this, or Holmesy to go, like any of these cats in the future to do what I'm doing, because if the communication was clear, if it was fairness, like this would have happened. I always had a great relationship as far as just getting business done, but it was just been whenever I bring up percentages or anything I guess they're not for, it's an issue.
Well, I guess now the more you get into this thing, the more you start thinking, okay, how can I capitalize off of me? So I get that part. And I think everybody should think like that, like, okay, I'm getting paid to do this battle, but how can I capitalize off of me doing this battle and make more money myself?
Yeah, and I think it'll work both ways because I think if like some of this stuff was implemented and people treated different, I think battles would be way more fire. People would be choking less. It would be more of a like every battle like like some of this stuff is really not that expensive, especially if you're in a company that's super successful. Like to buy like a used Sonata like 2015 is probably like 8 grand, 10 grand. Like to be like, yo, the winner of today's shit, performance of the night, get this whip right here. It's outside. Who's ready? Who want to eat? Like, it's really like, I feel like if this stuff is implemented, a lot of good will come out of it because people are going to push more forward, being like, yo, this is a brand I want to battle for and want to, like, not saying it ain't because it clearly is the number one brand that people talk about, but as far as like on the ethical and respected side.
Oh shit, it froze up.
You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go!